Hey, it's Play It Forward. Welcome, every pony. Yeah, I'm Beej. We are playing more Metroid Other M tonight. I have to get my hand in the wrist strap. Zoop. And we can just get right to the gameplay, in fact. If you are enjoying this on the YouTubes, go to our main channel, youtube.com/loadingreadyrun. You can become a member. You can also do all sorts of like super thanks and stuff on videos you see there that we have made. But you can also go to the Patreon, patreon.com/loadingreadyrun. Thank you, I guess. And you can also go to our store, store.loadingreadyrun.com, buying all the cool merch that we have there. And also here on Twitch, twitch.tv/loadingreadyrun, which is where we do all of our streaming. You can catch all the stuff that we do here at all times throughout the week, it seems. If you go to loadingreadyrun.com/live, that's loadingreadyrun.com/live, you're going to see the schedule for all the things that we do and when we do them. We also like tweet about it and let people know. So you can always find out what we're doing by following us on Twitter. That's at loadingreadyrun. You can also get on our Discord, which is discord.gg/LRR. And yeah, I'm going fast because we have only 3 hours. These are the last 3 hours that I'll be playing this game, unless we are so far behind that I have to do yet another stream. We are just gonna move through this as fast as we can. As always, if you this is of course no backseating, but because we're gonna try to collect as many things as possible. At some point, I might just be saying, hey, if you are following along with what I'm doing, please feel free to give me a hint or tell me what's going on if I ask for it. If I ask for a hint, please give me a hint. If I ask for the solution, please give me the solution. So let's get reacquainted. We are in Sector 1, and we've collected most things so far. I think we got everything on the left side of the map. And now I'm just going to turn to my right, and we're going to work our way east back to here, up to there, and I think we'll probably skip that one in favor of just doing the rest of these. Yes. We'll do the rest of those, and then we can get the bioweapon, or maybe we should go into the bioweapon center because we're already coming along. Well, let's not do the bioweapon center just yet. Is there any reason I need to be over here in this area? I don't know. Doesn't seem like it. I guess I'm just going into the... going into the hole then. Fair enough. Whee! And we drop into here. And we move along home. And we're in the center section already. And I need to get to the bottom of this sequence. Wow, it pushed me backwards a lot. More than I thought it would. We fall down. Just go out the exit. Exit's like, you want me to what? I'm like, I want you to load. Okay. straightforward. Maybe I'll go to the Bioweapon Research Center. I think that's a dead end anyway. I have to come back once I go in. Okay, that's what we're going to do. We're going to go into the Bioweapon Research Center, because as far as I know, it's a dead end. Get to run, 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 run. That's always fun. Is this one of these things where it might be I have to pull this thing back? Like it might be below me? Down, look up, look way up. All right, so it shows me that, but it shows me that it's on the other side. Means I need to find... Let's look over here. If everything was just a little bit brighter, it'd be a little easier to make this all work. Weird blue light in the middle of the thing. Is there another way to access that? Let's find out together. Clean my contact lens a bit. And fall down. There we go. It's like there must be a way in, and I bet you it's in where all the detritus is. Thank you. It seems like a way out, right? Like it's like, oh, it's a little arch there. But it is not. I can stand up in here. And I'm trapped forever. Whee! Okay, we've come out. I guess I need to probably do some jumping. Can't just expect the single jump to carry me all the way over. Huh. I mean, maybe I can just space jump all the way over there? Probably. Let's just try that. Yeah, that's way easier. I should have just done this in the first place. The things you don't really think about. Come on, clear, clear. All right, here we are. Okay, so now it's just coming around like this. Last time I came in this room, it told me to go one direction, and I went that direction, and then I was unhappy with what happened as a result of going that way. There are other doors. For example, this one. Okay. Well, we know if we go that way, that leads towards what I was doing beforehand. Let's do this. All that glass. Get to see what's in here. Just this. That's like 12 guys for a missile tank. That glass is unfazed. All right, moving on. Ah, elevator. Long elevator. Wow. So we'll make a left turn, I think, this time. No, we'll go in and we'll get the things. Actually, no. Since I had to go that way, I bet you the left doesn't actually go that far. So let's do the left turn first. Yeah. So in this room, which also goes down here, So one of those I can bomb. I like this kind of, you know, this area they've created where there's all sorts of stuff going on screens behind people. Anyway. There's something going on over there, so we should probably try to figure that out. Ah, and all of these go into this area, which is a place we've been before too. Oh, this is when all those dudes filed in to have the big hunt. That was where that one dude stood, because he was all like, yes, yeah, harumph. I am enjoying this whole thing. So there's the thing I need to get. Low, it is trapped behind glass. Now, did we break any of the glass in this room? Sure is. The round portholes make me feel like there are ways into there. Like if I'm over here, you can move between. Right? I guess maybe accessible from the other side? Maybe? I can see it on this side, which is the thing, right? You're like, okay, if you can see it on this side, then surely you have to be able to get to it from this side. Okay. If that's not the case... Is there something on the ground? Yeah, I know I can see that. If there's a tunnel from within here... in order to get there, would we assume it's on the same level? I might assume it's on the same level. Quick boo. Okay, well, let's jump down to the killing floor. Okay. Oh, maybe over here by the stairs? Don't see anything. It's not like there's a... Unless this is bombable too, and it is not. Okay. That's fine. Let's work our way back. I know that's supposed to be the console beeping, but it just bugs the hell out of me. Okay, we'll go this way. This door is very locked, so I can't get through to the next room on that side. So I guess I have to go around. It's fine. This is just that room that we were in before. Alright, because I should have taken the other one. Okay. Alright, we'll find it, we'll find it. It's not like this is a speed run. I mean, I want to do this as fast as I can, but... Go through here. Okay, next room. So here we are in a room that may or may not have a way into... Nothing appears to be bombable. One thing I do always like about these moments is that it's like, you'll never figure it out until you do figure it out, in which case you're like, oh, that's so obvious. I should have seen that. Yes, I should have totally seen that. Well, I'm feeling pretty stymied now. Okay, hint time. Do I get to that? Ultimately, is the way to get that missile tank, do I have to be in the same room as the missile tank in order to get that missile? In order to, like, is the entrance to that area through there? Thank you, okay. Rather than keep looking around, I was like, I'm going back anyway, but I just want to know. That is a red locked door. Is that the only door out of here? It is the only door out of here. They locked that door. Because they don't want you in that other door for some reason. Okay. Well, it's fun coming back. need to get to that space. So we go over here. We go over here. We go over here. There. Very easy. Oh, cool. That's great. That is all of them in this area. Yeah, 100%. Let's head back to the exit. Save.
Sequence complete. Process successful.
Yeah, it feels nice getting 100% on an area. We'll do that a couple more times, and we'll be good to go. Because all that's left now is this sector and Sector 3, which we're missing like half the stuff on. But that's fine. Seem to have timed that pretty well. So past the net. Okay, so in the elevator room, essentially. Oh, right. That's a way to climb that.
Data recording. Restoration sequence activated. Sequence complete. Process.
It is in this room. I saw it. If that's how you're supposed to do it, then great. Next one. Right there. Okay, so just on the other side of that. Right there. Did I blow out every window? Did I blow out any window? I feel like I did not blow out any windows. Okay. Well. Ah. Okay, it was that easy. I thought we'd already done that. Nice. Probably nothing else I need to do in there, I think. All right. Let's get out of the space. After the nav. Save.
Data recording. Restoration sequence activated. Sequence complete. Process.
Aha, this room.
Successful.
Which means that that is accessible from somewhere else, right? And I can't get enough of a run up to jump in the air. And I can't jump over the side, which means that that door has to be accessible from the previous room. That's the really only explanation for it. So unless this is a door, which it does not appear to be, that means that it's accessible from in here from a door that I can't, I was unable to find currently. But that might mean that there's an alternate exit to this space. That's it. And it is just off of the other side of that door. I can't go back that way. Go back this way.
Data recording. Sleep restoration sequence activated. Sequence complete. Process successful.
I'm glad that one did not take me a long time to think about. That's like, okay, let's think about this logically. Ooh, I don't like that. Another part. Another e-recovery tank. That's good. I mean, it would be if I... Maybe I'll... I don't know. I'm not going to go back and fight another boss. Let's see here. I think that's it. Also weird that... I guess it's the idea was if I had explored everything and I needed that e-recovery tank before I made it to Fantoon again. But yeah, we're done here. I can't even get through that door anyway, so yeah, made it here and I'm stuck.
Data recording. Sleep restoration sequence activated.
That means we're at...
Sequence complete.
Sorry. We're off to Sector 3.
Process successful.
This might not be a terribly long stream. I mean, well, it's probably going to be at least 2 hours, maybe 2.5 hours. The one thing I do find weird is that you can't blind fire in a space and hope that that, like that you can't just be like, I'll just go in there and start shooting wildly and then everything will be fine, right? It's like, no, you actually have to see the things on camera in order to have something to aim for. Which I understand why they did that, but I also find it a little frustrating that you could be running towards danger and forget about it or not know it.
Sequence complete. Process successful.
Right, I gotta go down first. Nice. Fine, never mind.
Data recording. Restoration sequence activated. Sequence complete.
I have to run all the way back straight down towards the main sector. So that is our job now.
Process.
Just running towards the camera. All right. Pick the right exit. Must be doing pretty good, eh? It's just press down and run.
Data recording. Restoration sequence activated. Sequence complete. Process successful.
Ah, this way. Okay. Sector 3.
This elevator is bound for the main sector.
I was like, man, I could, what if I wrap this all up in, like, before the first break? Holy shit. No. That ain't gonna happen. Sector 3.
This elevator is bound for sector 3.
Walking backwards. All right, let's get the lay of the land. First up, that one over there. Then a lot of them clustered around that area. I'm going to say that we start by going right. Oops. Aha. Remember this place? Oops. Oh, they lock off the room pretty good. Right. It's just right there. Laying on the floor. This'll take acquired. And then we have a long run. Okay. So... Okay.
Data recording. Restoration sequence activated. Sequence complete. Process successful.
I would like to... Wow, we barely... I thought we went like a great distance. We've only moved a bit.
Data recording.
This was a big place, so...
Sequence complete. Process successful.
Great. Now, is that the way out? It probably is. Nothing in this space. No. This is just fighting all the way up, fighting upstairs. Oops. Okay. I think I have to go up on the left-hand side one, right? Come on. Oh, I made it. All right. Good for me. Okay. Okay, we're in the center. Does it literally just get in this thing and stand still? Yes. Excuse me. Okay, we're in the right area. We're only partway there. Oh, because it's that thing right there. Can't even see the other one. Check it. Okay, so off the second room. So this first room. Any other ones? All right, literally just that. That's fine. I don't mind that. So my choices are... Can I... Let's go this way first. See what I can find over here. Okay. Above me or below me? Above me. That did not hit. Or if it did, there's another one behind it. There was a hole there, I just didn't see it. Screw it, why not? Let's go get the next one, and we'll come back. Oh, right. The one I couldn't cross because I didn't have space jump. Simple, simple. Okay. Now, probably I could go through and save now that I have a few of those, but probably just better to whip back around again. Yeah, we're going to whip back around again. All right, fine. Want some attention from me? I'll give you some attention. So there's one right above the doorway in here. Or below the doorway. Okay, could be accessible on the other side of the doorway. Oh. Well now. Ah, cell charge. Okay, that's cool. That was the one above me. I believe that it is. None of these probably do anything. Nope. That's fine. Let's look again. Okay, we got to cross over into here. Oh, is this the one that's in the middle of the room that's like... Oh, I gotta come back over to get that one. Okay. Don't say speed booster. Okay, that's good. I can live with that. Oh, cool, the fireflies. Okay. So I have to probably move around the space. You know what? I'm going to take that. God, you know, I really would. No, I'm going to take the break. We know that we have 1, 2, 3, 4 in this region. 5. That would get us at 100. I got to take a break. Yeah, I'm going to take a quick break. So Sit tight. Back in a few minutes. And we'll get the last of these 5 things, and then we're done. And I don't know if I'll go play Fantoon again, like fight them again, or who knows. I don't really know what I want to do in that regard. But I do know I want to take a commercial. So commercial. Back in a few minutes. Surely that was 3 minutes or something. So. All right. Let's toddle about out here. Find the next place that I need to go. So that's kind of facing the right area I need to get to. I think it was over here too. Yeah. It's like right on the edge of this thing from the other side. Just blow everything up. See what happens. It's interesting how the camera definitely sets itself over there. I am like standing right on top of the damn thing. I swear I tried rolling in there beforehand. Cool. All right. So it doesn't make sense to work towards that exit. I need to go back over to where that is. And I think that's straightforward because it's just going up this way. I do like how it's a little indiscriminate about how far your grapple beam can shoot. All right. I'm way over here, but that's probably fine. That's what I want. But I think I have to go through here to get it. No, I don't. But I'm over here now, so I should probably go get that one. It's only the one that's through here, right? Yeah, just go get that one. Oh. That might have been easier. In the corner, you know, sit out of me, snow me, I go blame. I lick it, boom, boom, down, detective motivated. Yep, that was a thing. I remember that. You're in this room. You're not too far over. I should be looking straight at you. But instead, all I'm seeing is this. It's a start. Can I drop the lava in the room? I haven't seen switches like that in the game so far where you can just do that. There's no sort of... I can't... There's nothing to climb. For everyone following along, how bullshit is this one? On a scale of... It's not bullshit to... it's pretty bullshit. Or it's really bullshit. Why would they call Lyle from our Chad squad Lyle Smithsonian? I don't think is a last name. I think it's to refer to things from Smithson. Is that why it's called that? I mean, yeah. Okay, good. I thought I was I thought I was crazy. Jump. Oh, jump. So we did set a power bomb off. I feel like I'm supposed to go up, but I get kind of caught on the geometry. I might be able to actually see what it is I'm looking for. I mean, I know it's supposed to be down there, right? So if this one is literally just, you know, wander through the hello, Books of Doom. If this is just one of those things where oh, hang on. Oh no, this isn't a thing I can jump off of. All right. It's the thing I come in backwards, maybe? Something where I can run in on top of the... I don't think there's any way out of these places. Yeah, nothing's broken. Can't hop off walls in here. Yeah, okay. Is there a hidden space behind here? Nothing I can jump in, eh? Okay. Now I know I've set off a power bomb in here already. Can't remember if I did it right on top of the glass or not, if that even makes a difference. It does not make a difference. Yeah, no, I feel you. Arclight, it is difficult. Okay, look around a little more. Maybe I can get a sense of this. Can I climb up any of this stuff somehow? Is there another platform from somewhere else? I can't use that dude as a platform. Yeah, I can't hang on that. Can't hang on anything from in here. Yeah, that just pushes me off. I mean, when I think like if something is complete bullshit, it's like, oh yeah, you can get this power up. You're gonna have to just jump into the lava. It's like, oh yeah, that's surprising. Okay, let's work back a hair here, actually. It's funny, right? Because it's like there's these boxes here. Oh, they're not, though. They're just that. Like, stands to reason that I might have to go up into the wall from one of these spaces. This is just a reverse of the other wall, right? I don't see anything on there that... particularly looks like it's access. Huh. Yeah. So I'm trying to illuminate some stuff by firing at it, because it is dark. It's nice that they give some stuff some visual depth, but it does make it difficult to tell where you can walk through and what you can't. Got this big long corridor next after it. I'm not sure I can get outside of it. Yeah, as best I know, it's like, I'm pretty sure that's the room the big circle on in the middle of the map that I'm looking at. That's where we fought Ridley, so whatever that room was called, but who knows. So if I move forward through this... No. Okay, and back this way. I do not think I can grab onto that caution. Yeah, I cannot. Okay. Like, if it's down in the lava, then it stands to reason that the way to gain access to it is by accessing the lava, right? Like, which would mean that blow a big hole in this place. But nothing seems to be blown up. If there were any maintenance tunnels, it would be like directly above or directly below. Let's keep going. That was a super missile thing that we unlocked. We couldn't go back that way. Can't stand on top of those things. And if I look back over here, it's just that door, and then there's that thing on the other side. But I thought we did that already. And, oh, and we can't go back in that other room. Yes, we would have come this way because this is probably an Excel charge or something. Okay. Just a big blue door. Oh, that's cool. All right. Arclight, you say it's very direct. One more thing I'm going to ask you then is it accessible from the room that it's in? Because I think I figured out how to get it. You said it was very direct, and I'm like, wait, the one thing I haven't done is tried to jump up in the room.
Data recording. Sequence complete. Process successful.
Now we get to do this. Okay, so you're going to lose your speed charge there. Now there's some other ones over there, and I need to get into those rooms. Let's have a look over here. Shit, I think we can make it. I thought we could make it. That is literally a completely different part of the room. Where does this take me? Ah, inside there. Okay, that's how we do it. That's our hidden thing right there. That's no problem. It's going to clear everything out. It's very pleasant when it's just blow open a door. Let's get to the nav room. I love the little fireflies that show up to kind of give you a sense of, we didn't make this very bright, but don't worry, we're gonna give you a hint as to where it is. This is all being done in dark and slightly less dark, but don't worry, we can tell you how to kind of get around in here. All right, then it curves back. Where does this go again? Is this actually what leads me to the other side? Oh, it leads me into here, right. I can't get out of my form. All right, that's fine. Voomp, voomp. I know we found that one last time. And then we go this way. Just pass by that dude. Oh, shit, you came after me. Okay. Okay. Now, what we can tell is there is a there is a tunnel. But can we tell on which side it exits and enters? I cannot. Even from the other side of the thing, maybe? No, I cannot. Okay, so maybe it just comes in from here. Okay. So it stands to reason that no. How many? This one, that one, and that'll do it. Now, did I break any more? I didn't break any more. Oh, shit. Okay, so I literally cannot jump off of here. You have to use the grapple beam to do it. And if that's true, then I probably can't... Like, I have to do this, right? Well, we're over here. Why not try for this one? Is it? It's in the next room. Okay. Oh. Yeah. Yep. Oh, I'd like to, not get juggled to pieces if I could. Ah, F you, buddy. Fine. Did it make the last guy even harder? I hope not. Jesus. So you can't go back that way. That's fascinating. Why is that? Who knows? Excel charge? Nice. All right, so there's a missile left to pick up. Aha! So even that is something I can't get access to. Can I drop myself in the middle? No. I cannot do that either. Like, I feel like this was the right answer, right? Bomb this thing open. But I can't. So if I can't come at it from the outside here, because it wouldn't let me come over from that platform that I'm looking at right now, right? That platform over there. It wouldn't let me come all the way over here, for one. So there's no way I can kind of like come from underneath and jump onto that thing and grab it, it seems. If I can't do that, and I can't do a grapple and like release myself. Oh God, a little acid reflux there. Excuse me. Have one of these fisherman's friends. Soothe my throat a bit. Fisherman's friends are not treatment of acid reflux, definitely not. They're just eucalyptus and menthol, and really powerful. At least the ones I like to get are. What they do is the menthol helps soothe the throat. So I'm just taking care of symptoms. So if I can't do that, I don't think this is going to be one of these situations where it's like, go back in the other room, find the entrance to the tunnel from over here, and then maybe you can roll your way to victory. Like, I don't think that's the answer. Because how would I get to the other side, right? So there must be an access in the other room. Yeah, you just hit that all the time. And there's no way to half that. You release at one point, you release at another point, and that's it. Is it just as simple as bomb the hell out of this and hope one of these things opens up? Get everybody in the room here if I can. Great. So one thing I can't do, I think, there's no way to kind of roll out of here. Camera's being weird. Can't get under that path. We know that the fireflies are great for like, oh, well, I'll tell you where to find something, but I can't. Just save.
Data recording. Restoration sequence activated. Sequence complete. Process successful.
All right. So, a hint. Let's start with the obvious. Can I access? Is my access to this final missile from this tunnel, like from the glass tunnel that I'm in this room? I guess is my yeah. Actually, it's a better thing. It's in the big lava room. That's exactly what I meant to ask. Is it in the big lava room? Okay. I just want to have a really good look at that tile. Cool. Okay. I would assume that where there is stuff that you can already break. My second question then is it is literally having to roll through this marked off corridor that you can see. I have to roll through that corridor. Is that that's the second question I have. Okay. What I see here is I see a corridor all the way along there, and I do not see any corridor. Oh. Oh, that looks like an entrance, doesn't it? Maybe it's just the way it's being drawn. Oh, hello. Great. Yeah, should be looking around more. But hey, I don't have to look around anymore if I don't want to. I can be done looking around at stuff. Because if we look at all the maps, main sector 1, 2, 3, and the Bioweapon Research Center, we have everything now.
Process successful.
And that means, and I've already saved, which is great. And let's see here, status. I think at this point we've unlocked everything we can possibly unlock in this game. Plasma. I really have to hand it to Team Ninja for finding a way to adapt everything you expect from the more complicated Metroid games into a into like the few commands you get off of the Wiimote. It's pretty good. And for finally putting the word Shine Spark in a Metroid game, thank God. And for making them actually fairly easy to do. That's, I mean, in Dread, if you only were limited to doing these things, there's a lot of stuff you wouldn't be unable to do. So I guess having them be hard to do is maybe part of the appeal. And we have 6 Excel charges and 16 energy parts, and I'm sure that's all that there is. 80 missile blocks. Okay, red means they're dead. Hang on. Was he on our team? Maurice Favreau, Anthony Higgs, Lyle Smithsonian, James Pierce, The Betrayer, Keiji Misawa, or Missing. Yeah. And Madeline Bergman, the actual Madeline Bergman. And Melissa Bergman, shot to death by the Federation. I'm sure that's exactly what they have on the dossier. We don't know that he's dead. Maybe he lived. This guy's been missing. You should mark him as missing. Assumed KIA, I guess. Weird, though, to think that's like, we put all these guys on these teams, and then we have you discover some of them, but then it's like, oh, but you don't, you get to see Anthony, but like, they're at the end of the thing, they're like, shit, we didn't, what do we do about KG? It's like, I don't know. Anyway, we have caught up with everything that's going on there. I have done item collection to 100%. It even says down in the corner there, it says item collection 100%. So that's good. Hooray, we finished it. Big stretch for Beach. And I'm just going to call it there. A little bit earlier even than 11. But we can... we did save, right? Yes. It's a little anticlimactic, the ending. I'm not going to go fight... I'm not going to fight Fantoon again. No real reason to do that. Oof. And we'll come back to the... I did save, yes. And even if I didn't, now I know how to get those things, so I'll... If I discover in, like... the next time I open up Metroid Other M that I didn't get everything... Doesn't matter to me, actually, because we all saw me get it on stream, and that's what counts, right? Is it's, you know, it doesn't matter whether or not you do it yourself in real life. It matters if everyone saw you do it. I was about to hit the mute button and be like, good, done. I'm going to commercial. No, I'm not. We're going to burn out a little bit of time here, get us right to 11 o'clock, and then and be done early. Right. Let's get some music. Well, I had a good day today. I didn't have much. Nothing really. I had to prep much for live. What I ended up prepping really was I tried the. I realized I'm like, well, we're gonna have this castle that we've built for Improv Maelstrom, and so therefore we should do something like I should do the music for it so that it actually fits. We were discussing whether we were going to do music tonight or not, and I had said, should we maybe not do music tonight? Mostly because I was in the back of my mind, I'm like, can I do medieval sounding music that works? You know, the Renaissance music at least, and because medieval music is by and large it's going to be Gregorian chant and stuff, and like little things maybe plucked on a lute or you know. But overall, I'm like, I can't just do that off the top of my head. So I went looking, and people are like, you don't mean medieval, you mean Renaissance. And when you talk about these kind of things, though, you want to have, because they didn't have chord progressions back then, you see, and they didn't even have 12-tone equal temperament. And I'm like, yes, that's all good information. I remember all of it from when I took music theory in high school as part of my band class. So this is all well and good. All I came here for was give me some chord progressions that sound like they would come out of medieval whatever. You know what I mean, so give it to me. And of course, it's like you're gonna have very simple stuff. Like what I did tonight. The only thing that really was more medieval-ish of anything that I was playing was because they'll play stuff in 6/8 or 12/8, and you're basically just moving, like, you start in A minor, that's a very, you know, like, and you just move to, like, G, but it's, the actual progressions were things like a minor 1 to a, what was it again? Minor 1, major 4, major 7, minor 1. And in a lot of ways, like like Green Sleeves is kind of the best example of this. And I was like, I guess I could just play Green Sleeves, but like if I play just Green Sleeves, everyone's going to notice. And I could do it once, and I have to do 3 songs tonight. And so ultimately I just erred on the side of, why don't we just move between 2 chords for one whole song? That'll be fine. They'll do the same thing again on the next song, and then when it's a duet, I'll come up with something different. And off the top of my head, I was like, we're in D now? Yeah, we're in D now. And what are we doing? And we're going from D, we're going to C to G? Oh, okay, actually that'll work. Okay, great. Well, I messed that up a bit. Okay, we'll just do that over and over. It'll be fine. We'll be fine. And so it worked out fine. Because all the reading and all the looking I did, I'm like, I'm not going to be able to, I'm practicing stuff, and I'm like, this is not going to stick. I'm not going to remember this. But in the middle of the games where I'm like, I just got off of doing outside, inside, up in the tower. And it's, yeah. It was good. I wish we'd found a way. I wish we could have found a way to move even faster outside, inside, up in the tower. It's complicated when you're trying to also build a story because you're like, I need to do this, and like standing, sitting, bending is so fast because you don't have to make it work with much of what you're doing. But now we're like, oh, this is physical locations. We have to move outside, inside, up in the tower. But overall, it. Yeah, I felt pretty good about how that went. I'll have to watch the Oak Bay Tea Party. Sorry, the Oak Bay Tea Party Parade. Is that what it's called? I'll have to watch that again. That was the first I saw any of that put together, and I'm like, I'm glad that kind of came together too. If you haven't seen live yet, look forward to go watch the Twitch VOD if you like, but look forward to the actual the VOD on the main channel coming up later. When it gets up like it normally does. What else? I guess I could talk about what's coming up next, because that's important too. Rhythm Cafe is tomorrow at 4. I don't think I'm going to do my anime roundup tomorrow. Let me just roll forward a hair to... Oh shit, I can't do that after Canada Day. Okay. I don't think it's going to be tomorrow on Sunday. I think it might be on next Sunday, which is the 3rd. Maybe on Saturday, the 2nd. We'll see. But of course, I'll let everybody know like 24 hours beforehand. Alright, so on Monday is Discovery Day in Newfoundland. It's always off by a half hour. Can't Draw Horses Club is at 1300 hours on Monday, followed by Crossing the Streams, where we're playing Drink More Glurp at 1700 hours. 1700 hours on Tuesday. Mine o'clock at 1000 hours. Talking Simulator at 1330. And Let's Snope at 1700. Moving into Wednesday, Watch and Play at 1300 hours and AFK at 1700. And then Thursday brings you Lure MTG at 1400. Friday is Canada Day. And it seems like there's more filming to be done and other recordings and stuff. And there we go, Checkpoint Plus at 1400 hours. And following that is the Double Masters pre-release. So check our schedule to ensure that you're going to catch that when that happens too. Always happy to attract as many people as possible. It is July the 2nd. Starting, I don't know what time in the morning, but it does start in the morning. Does it not? Maybe it starts in the very early afternoon. So much to do in 10 a.m. Pacific, Saturday, July 2nd. Always nice to have people showing up to come do things here as well. I will probably not put my face on camera for that. I never seem to anyway. And let's thank people. Shadragon for 54 months. Thank you for showing up. Olveron for 33 months. Thank you as well. Opea for 16 months. Alchemist Merlin for 87 months. That's 87. And Poundfar for 50 months. Hope you're well, Beach. I am well. I just saw a thing today of, guy walks into doctor's office. Doctor says, how are you? And guy says, I'm well. The doctor says, okay, get the fuck out of my office. I'd get my phone and start showing you memes, but I can't do that either because my phone is currently charging because it was almost dead today. Oh, that reminds me, I didn't plug in a thing that was at the moon base. I'm going to have to do that. Oh, no. All right, we're 9 minutes away from when I would absolutely have to hard exit. I guess, yeah, 4 minutes if we're counting anything else. If anybody, you can always catch memes on, like, there are other Discords out there you can do. Alex is a Discord and Adam is a Discord, and I will post stuff there in the appropriate channels. I do not post anything in the lure memes. Or there, I don't think there's a memes channel on Loading Ready Run, and if there is, I'd probably get banned. Right, there's store. Thank you, Earthen One, for the store plug, store.loadingreadyrun.com, where you can buy all sorts of merchandise. And also there is our Patreon, patreon.com/loadingreadyrun. Thank you to our nearly 2,700 patrons. You can help us hit the 2,700 mark if you want to as well. There's also the YouTube memberships. Our main channel, youtube.com/loadingreadyrun, is monetized for that. So if you want to help back the channel, become a YouTube member, or you can just like a video and leave a super thanks, because that's something you just do without having a YouTube membership apparently, but we can still get the money from it. We're always with the idea of, like, back us however is comfortable for you. Are you backing people on YouTube? Are you backing them on Patreon? Are you backing them on Twitch, like the people I just thanked? You know, if you're already doing those things a lot anyway, don't feel like you have to spread yourself around and go do something that you haven't done before for us if you don't want to. That being said, I'm pretty sure our split is, like, a little bit better on Patreon, but it's not I don't think it's appreciably better. So you can always, Patreon's nice because it's like, it's a big number and it's a big number of people too, and that's nice. And I gotta do merch stuff. Not with Patreon, but because Patreon has the tier thing that gets me thinking about, oh yeah, thank you cards, and that gets me thinking about PMC, who does all of our merch fulfillment for us. So I have merch stuff I have to take care of still as well. What else? We have many YouTube channels. Earthen One just posted that in the chat as well. The Loading Ready Run channel is our main channel. You can find all of our Magic the Gathering stuff at LRMTG, LRRMTG, and our channel for all of our non-MTG VODs. So this will end up on a VOD on youtube.com/loadingreadylive. So yeah, MTV, it's a common question, right? It's like, you want to know which one gives us the best cut. And it's like, I'm pretty sure Patreon does, but I've not actively looked at all the different people doing different things in different places, like, and I have to read our partner agreement again for Twitch and that kind of stuff, to refamiliarize myself with some things. But yeah, if you like backing on Twitch so that you can avoid ads and stuff like that, I'm never going to say, oh, you should stop doing that and go over to Patreon instead and take this away from you. You know, get the benefits where you want to get the benefits. And I mean, we opened up YouTube membership because we knew that there might be people out there who were like, I don't want to join Patreon because I have a problem with Patreon, or I don't like that whole process. It's like, sure. And I don't want to join Twitch because I don't use Twitch for anything else. I'd only be using it for you guys. It's like, that's understandable as well. It's like, YouTube is an option, then you can do that. I mean, you can PayPal us stuff if you wanted to. Like, you could just be like, I'm going to send you guys a PayPal. And it's like, yes, you could do that if you wanted to. But we're not set up on a ton of different things because it's also weird too. Like, we don't have a Ko-fi, I don't think. And, or Ko-fi. I know it's for coffee, but I don't like saying, we don't have a coffee. It sounds weird. So I like to say Kofi, like, former UN Secretary General Kofi Annan. So we don't have a Kofi. I don't think I've seen a Kofi show up. So I've never seen a link to one that's ours. So I'm not so concerned about starting up a whole bunch of different ways for you to give us money and then advertising all of them, because that way lies madness and an incredibly long description in every YouTube video. It's like, no, that's okay. We have the things we have, and that's chill. Like the wrestler Kofi Kingston, yes, absolutely. I was really jazzed to meet Xavier Woods, and I was double jazzed. I was at a PAX East a little while ago. It was PAX East, right? I think it was. Maybe not. Maybe it was South. It might have been South. Got to do a Jackbox panel with him, and which was a blast to work with all the guys, because I think it was Chris and me and Jerry So Chris Straub and Jerry Hawkins, and then also, Xavier Woods is there, and it's like, neat. What a fun day this is going to be. And the best part is that when I said, oh yeah, I'm with this group, I'm with Loading Ready Run, and we also do this we do this wrestling podcast called Sidewalk Slam, and I think you probably talked to my buddy Adam. He would have met you before at a previous thing. So Adam and Graham, they do this podcast called Sidewalk Slam. He's like, oh yeah, okay. Like you remembered that. He's like, no, I remember meeting Adam and Graham. I'm like, nice, okay. And I love that when somebody you meet that's like they have their own thing and it's like not in any way connected to what it is that you do, but they keep that stuff, they remember stuff like that, and I'm like, I like that I want to be the kind of person who remembers people better. So we're getting dangerously close to 11 o'clock. Maybe I will just cut it all here. Wait, hang on. Does anyone have any questions in the chat for me before I take off? No, I don't know who the next Play It Forward is. I don't know what the next Play It Forward game is going to be. I don't know when it's going to start, but I will assume in July. If there's anything else you want to know, be more than happy to tell you about it, if I can tell you about it. Also, as Arclight points out, it would be really great if somebody just started up www.boutrosgali.com, Gali or whatever like that, .com, as a means of also donating money to a somebody as a tip. Are you glad to have played this? Beowulf asks. You know what? Okay. Yeah, final thoughts then, I guess, on Metroid Other M until I decide to talk about it more in the future. But coming back to it and getting to do the cleanup segments and looking around for stuff and finding things, so much about that was great. It really was. Like, it was like, I saw somebody in chat say, oh, and now finally it's Metroid. And I'm like, yeah, it's for all of what it is like doing that. Even doing Metroid Prime when running around trying to find stuff, like, and having a guide to help me find out, like, did you get this thing? Did you get that thing? I'm like, yeah. Sometimes I wish that you could have a checklist to mark things off. But, anyway, but besides that, because having to go back and look for things, be like, did I get that one? And you're looking and you're like, oh, I must have got that one. Yeah, sure. I can't remember if I did because it's been like months since I got it, but sure. But this tail end bit of running around and gathering things, it really did reignite that kind of Metroid passion of, you've been playing this game all this time. You're very powerful now. You're running around and grabbing things. You're doing the jumping. You're doing the space jumping and all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, everything about this feels so real and so good, like actual Metroid. And it is too bad, in a way, that all of the story stuff really just makes it not fun. And I don't know, maybe somebody who, if they came to it completely blank slate, tried to watch it, they'd be like, oh, okay, I think I get this, I think I understand, and maybe they wouldn't feel so weird about it. I find that would be difficult because I'd love to meet the person who did play Other M as their first Metroid, not really knowing much, but only knowing that Metroid is like a beloved franchise, and then playing it and being like, what'd you walk away with? What was the feeling you came away with when you played that? Because for me, it's like, the gameplay was so there. Even in the bits that were really hard, where I'm like, well, this is bullshit. Well, this is bullshit. And I'm like, gameplay's still there. There's a lot of things where I'm like, I don't like those big monsters we're fighting from the powerbomb doors. It's like, I don't like the fact that if I jump away, he just kind of seems to have like a huge grab. It can grab me and throw me on the ground and do whatever. And I'm like, I don't like that happens, because if I'm not full on health, which is the thing I always like to be, then it's rougher. And the only way you can get health in this game is to save, or to stand there and recharge, right? And that's kind of like, you're so used to every other Metroid game being a thing of, I can just sit somewhere and I'll have to sit and stop and shoot things until enough energy orbs come out and I can recharge myself and be like, okay, I can go on. If you're not willing to be patient, then you're like, I guess I'll just kind of do my best. And this was very much as it was pointed out before, it's very much the Resident Evil kind of feel of, let's make this more tense because you can't see the best thing around every corner, and let's make this more tense so that you don't know what's coming at you and things can pop out, and it feels a little more like a horror game should, and how like a sci-fi horror game should be, that you walk into an area and you don't know what's going to happen, and then like 4 guys fall out of the sky and they're attacking you all of a sudden. You have to deal with that. And I'm like, that is kind of neat. And on the face of it, it's like taking a step back from the game. Like, I think they made some really interesting, neat decisions. But though in a way, I am glad this game tanked because this was fun. But if this was going to be the future of Metroid, that would be not great. I think that Metroid as a 2D exploration-based shoot-'em-up sci-fi, you know, with the morph ball and the fun things to roll through to do all that kind of stuff, wonderful. They really captured the morph ball stuff in this game in the same ways that they really, I think, made morph ball even more fun in Prime. I haven't played 2 and 3 yet. And there is like... there's a need for these things to be separate. Like, Metroid needs to, I think, should either be 2D and be a beautiful 2D game, the way like Samus Returns was a beautiful 2D game on the 3DS, and Dread was a beautiful Metroid game on Switch. I'm like, it either needs to be that, or it needs to be Prime. And you could maybe get away with, what if we took Prime, but we did make it third person like this game? So it is, but it controls more like you would, like it's having the visor look thing. I'm like, I think this was a neat thing to have, but having too many life or death moments relying upon it, I was like, I don't like that as much. I would rather just be able to like pull up missiles and be able to shoot. And you know, having the auto targeting was great. In Prime, you don't really have auto targeting as much as you have targeting help, and I'm like, that's fine too. I actually really like the fact that I can acquire a target in Metroid Prime and then I can track it, because I'm like, that is a thing that you as a seasoned bounty hunter should be able to do, and you shouldn't have to rely upon a gamer getting to the point where they're so good at being able to grab onto stuff that they, you know, you saw how I was struggling to do that with a Wiimote, which is built for aiming at a screen. Having the assist to be able to like grab onto a target, I'm like, great idea. Nice if I could have a way to like lock targets and shoot stuff. But so yeah, this game overall, it's like, you want to give it a star rating, you want to give it a whatever. I'm like, I don't know, like gameplay was still 6, 7 if I'm feeling generous, but if I just lock it at 6, I think that's fine. People be like, oh, it's a failure. I'm like, 6 out of 10 can mean 6 out of 10. It doesn't have to mean like you actually meant to say 1 out of 10. No, like story-wise, I couldn't even think of the number I'd want to give that. I'm glad they tried to do something interesting. I think they just completely whiffed it. So maybe it is a 1 out of 10. Maybe it is like, you try to put story in the game and you try to really lean into it, but man, you leaned in so hard. When you don't like a story, sometimes I feel like that's hard to say to somebody that's like, oh, this is a good story, or this is a bad story. You know, I didn't enjoy the story. A lot of other people, including in the chat, did not enjoy the story. And I think sometimes it's a pass-fail, right? It's like, if a story doesn't resonate with you, it's fail. And if it really resonates, like if it does resonate with you, if you're like, that was a good story, you'd be like, yeah, that was a good story. And then you have to like, you might be like, now I can take a story that I was like, yeah, I like that story, all right, now I'll give it a number. But when you fail, it's like, you just fail. Like you could say that's bad, and it's like, is it bad as this? I'm like, I don't know, like, was this as bad as The Room? I'm like, The Room was pretty goddamn awful. Is this The Room of video games? I'm like, I don't think it is, but I also it didn't work in much the same way that other terrible B movies don't work, and in a lot of ways, terrible B movies can work in a completely different way, and people can enjoy those. I don't think people can enjoy these. And Tiber says, I've had games drop several points from just a bad ending. This had a bad start and a bad ending, and the epilogue itself was just like, are you serious? That's what we came back for this thing? That's all we came back for? Son of a bitch. Son of a bitch. Like, it was just like, meh, so whatever. Oh, I like MTV. You make a good point. Nintendo likes capital, trying, capital new, capital things. They like trying new things, right? And I'm sure this is a thing where when they did it, if they had this in mind and they reached out to Team Ninja and said, try this thing, it's like that idea of if they imposed upon Team Ninja, but I could also see them being like, Team Ninja being like, hey, we've done games like this before. We think it'd be great if you did like Resident Evil Metroid. And they were like, yeah, we can give that a shot. Yeah, this seems like a cool idea. So who knows how that all shook out. So it is a sense of, I'm glad they did this. I'm sorry they probably lost money on this. That sucks. I'm not sorry it tanked because I'm glad that it let them reassess what makes the franchise good. I feel bad seeing executive producer Satoru Iwata at the end of that and knowing that, dude, I don't know if he's a Metroid fan or not, but if he was a Metroid fan and this is what they came out with and he just saw it tank in the market, he'd probably be like, oh, but this was it's like, yeah, you're the last thing you're gonna get to do Metroid with, and this is what you did with, that would be a terrible feeling. Maybe he wasn't a Metroid fan, but he was just happy to make a Metroid, or maybe it was like, this is another project we're doing. It could be just as much of anything else, right? But yeah, the idea of when the story came back during the epilogue and was like, you're done now, run out, do the escape. Also, you have to escape in your Zero suit because you took your power suit off for no reason. And boy, that's quite the thing, isn't it? It's just like, I've just decided that this is happening now, and taking away so much. There's so much about this, how the game took away agency in all these other ways, and now we're just going to be like, and now we're going to do this. I'm like, yes, it made the escape harder because you had to carry a helmet the entire time. But man, like, that just felt like, oh, we're now just poking you in the eye, right? Yeah, Adam depowers you one last time, right? Anyway. Yeah, it was not... Tiber says, for a long time I thought Nintendo learned that Metroid didn't sell, rather than a bad Metroid didn't sell. And, yeah, it's weird, right? It's like, I think that they got done with this and they were like, we don't know what to do now. Because do people... Like, why would anyone want to go back to the old Metroid? We don't want to go back to the old Metroid. We've made 3 games like that already, or 4 games, I guess, because Fusion, right? And then Zero Mission, right? And imagine they looked at Fusion and Zero Mission as well, and they're kind of looking at all these other things and being like, Metroid has some life in it still, but, what are we bringing to the party that's so interesting? And they probably thought nothing at this point. It's the same, we're giving you the same style of game over and over. And I think they had to get to a point where they were comfortable with the idea of, wait a second, hang on. That's not a bad thing. We can give somebody the similar games over and over and over again, and that's okay. Like, you don't have to. You just have to find your new twist, and you find your new way to relate to the material. This was a case where they're like, we're gonna try relating to the material with a new gameplay style. It's like, okay, but what if you didn't do that? But what if you found a different way? Like, one thing that has bugged me is it's like, Samus doesn't seem to get new loadouts of stuff, of gear. And you can say that, well, the Chozo power suit is kind of set up to do like these specific things, and that's how it's supposed to work. I'm like, yes, true. But I mean, we had a gravity section in here that was like flipping me up and down and doing that kind of stuff, and I'm like, but what if her suit could do that? Right? What if you could get the gravity suit at a certain point in the game, and it would allow you to flip yourself whenever you wanted to? Like, Bloodstained did that. And there's a Metroidvania where they were like, hey, but what if you could just run around the ceiling all the time? It's like, is that a good thing? I was like, I don't know. But it's a thing you can do if you have the right shards equipped. Like, why not let you do that in a Metroid game? Why not give her, like, I don't know, give her a little drone buddy or somebody that can go do a thing, and that will be helpful in some ways. When they gave her the grapple beam, it's like, that's a step forward. That's a new means of transportation, right? The speed booster, a new means of transportation, right? We had the morph ball all this time, and like a high jump boots and whatever. Like, here's some new ways to adapt, and it's like, sure, yeah, Dread gave us some new toys, and it's like, yeah, a little more of that. It doesn't have to be, you have the wave beam and the spacer and the, like charge beam, I guess, is kind of your basic start thing. But it's like, what if you give us some other cool things to do? So, yeah, I mean, she's part she's part SAX now, right? So it's like, why not let that be a more of the game? Dread had that kind of integrated into it too, right? And it's like there's more of the, and again, no spoilers, but it's like there's more of those kind of things where it's like giving her a little bit more stuff to do, I think is really cool. Giving her abilities that override older abilities. Like what if at the beginning if you could only be doing slides and you had to find your morph ball as an example, right? It's like you can only do slides for a while, but then you can find your morph ball, and now you can actually, like, morph ball means you can go into tunnels and do whatever, like that kind of thing. And so that kind of idea is, I think, really important to how that works. And I think that's how, in exploring franchises, that you have to step back and say, well, what do we need to do? Like, how does a Zelda game change? Maybe a Zelda game changes by, hey, in this game, when you're Kid Link, you can only use Slingshot, but when you're Adult Link, you can use a bow and arrow. Because everyone got mad when they played Ocarina of Time, like, where's my bow and arrow? I need a bow and arrow. And then people got mad about that, and they, but then you become Adult Link and you realize, oh, I can't use the Slingshot, but I can use the bow and arrow now. Okay, that kind of makes sense. But then Majora's Mask, it's like, well, now you've grown a little bit, so you can use both, and it's different. And I'm like, yeah, I think that kind of thing is super cool. Of what if you can change up the loadouts? What if you can change up what a character can do? What if you change up what they can do based on what part of the game that they're in? If they get into an area and it's like, okay, you can't do these things anymore, you're going to lose some powers, but because they're being replaced with a different power. Yeah, I really like that. I love this addition of stealth to Dread. What a great idea. What a wonderful way to make that game feel like something really different and new. What a way to feel like you are not the most powerful thing in certain sections, and therefore there's value in that. There's value in being like, I need to hide and stuff. It's like, yeah, that's good. So yeah, the old NES Run and Gun Contra style power set as MTV CDM is like, you get that spread shot and you're like, I stay on the spread shot and never touch another thing. And I'm like, they address that in Contra 3, where they're like, what if you can have one set, but then you can swap to another gun and have a different gun you can use, and then that way you can have either two spread shots, or you can have a spread shot and a laser. You can kind of move back and forth. I'm like, I liked being able to do those kind of things. That was cool. Being able to do in Metroid, people are talking about, oh yeah, Prince of Persia type music. Tiber's pointing out, it's like Samus being able to wall jump properly, not a way that's told that you can do it in Super Metroid, but you never really know, and then you have to keep. And I had such a hard time with wall jump in Super Metroid back when I was a kid, because I'm like, I don't get what they're talking about. I don't get how this is supposed to work. And then just eventually it's like, no, you can just get on a wall and jump back and forth. You can grab onto a wall and you can slide down it. Like, those kind of feelings are really good. And more later Metroidvania games, Hollow Knight and whatnot, have really expanded upon the things you can do with movement, and the idea of, like, the being able to, like, in Hollow Knight, being able to, like, do a jump off of a wall, but, like, rocket yourself off of a wall in any direction by using your magic and stuff. I'm like, Shine Sparks are a great way to do that kind of thing in Metroid, and it locks a lot of that movement up into something that you need a little more space to move, so we'll give you spaces in which you can move to do that, but only in spaces where we're comfortable letting that be a thing. Otherwise, we're going to interrupt your travel a little bit. I'm like, oh, yeah. A lot of thought put into a lot of these things. And that's what I like about, at least the way Nintendo's been revisiting a lot of their games in, not just like in the Switch era, I guess maybe is the way to think about that, but it's like they've really been thinking, it's like, what can we do to make these classic games feel like we're always trying to put a new thing into them. And Mario games have always been the hardest thing for me, because like, you play Super Mario World, it was not my first Mario, but it was my favorite Mario. You play Mario World and you're like, yeah, the cape, I can fly forever. Like Mario 3, you have the raccoon tail, you can fly to a certain extent. The Tanuki suit was like, you want a Tanuki suit, and then you find out all you can do with it is also fly and then change into a statue. And what does that do? It just lets you sit somewhere and lets enemies pass by you or whatever. It's like, not much you can do with that. And they keep trying in later games where it's like, well, we'll give him a bee suit, we'll give him a boo suit, like give him other suits to wear, give him the cat suit in Mario 3D World, and it's like every time I've come across a lot of these things, I always end up feeling like I want Mario to be able to fly and do stuff, but I like the metal suit idea that you had in Mario 64 and like in other games too, and it's like nothing ever really clicked. And then playing Mario Odyssey, I was like, oh, I see. Yeah, let Mario be a T-Rex for 5 seconds. Why not? And what a way to think around that idea. I don't think Mario ever picks up a fire flower in that game where he's just like, I'm now Fire Mario, right? It's like, I can pick up a fire flower and I can spray fire, I think, in that. I can't remember how that worked in Odyssey or not, but I'm just like, but what if he can just grab a pole with his hat and spring himself up to another level? It's like, oh yeah, a game based on movement. What if your powers are largely based on the way you can move? And, and what if you can, being able to inhabit other enemies? And like, what a neat idea. And like, yeah. It's why I'm glad that when you can see how like a franchise lasts long enough to move on to a point where it can demonstrate how it can make things new and good and improve to make things better as well. And I feel weird about Hollow Knight, right? Because I'm like, Hollow Knight is such a good game, such a good Metroidvania game. I love that game was so fun to play. Every part of it just felt so much polished to me and was hard. And when I finished it, I was like, okay, good. And I finished it the bad way and the medium way, and I can't beat the Radiance. Heather can beat the Radiance because I think Heather can beat the Ultimate Radiance at this point, and she's gotten really good at that game. But a game based on being able to explore and move around, I was just like, yeah, this is really lovely. What an act to follow, but also what an act for everybody else who's making a game like this, who intends to be making a game like this. Oh no. How do you deal with that? How do you look at a game like that and say, what they did and how they did it? How do you not just feel like you're ripping off pieces of the stuff that they've done? And that's the toughest part, right? Other people making like middling imitations of a game that you've made, like it's hard, but like as Castlevania evolved over time and got to this point of being like, we were the whole Metroidvania thing, right? We're exploring castles and like fighting stuff and doing whatever. And it's like, yeah. And then to turn around and be like, oh, okay, but now Castlevania is Castlevania Lords of Darkness, or it's Castlevania this, or it's Castlevania that. And I'm kind of like, to me, it's like Konami lost their way. But I've heard from other people being like, no, Lords of Darkness is fun. I'm like, okay, then I guess it's just not my interest. And I mean, I guess it's not their interest anymore either. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, every game dev doesn't want to make the same game for the rest of their life. They want to make new stuff and new interesting ideas. And I guess that's where Nintendo's kind of left. It's like, we want to do something new and interesting. How are we going to do that? Who's got the new fresh idea for how to adapt and do a thing? And you're just kind of sitting there, they're sitting at tables and talking about all sorts of things and throwing things on the wall and being like, somebody walks in one day and says, okay, it's Zelda, but it's like Skyrim. And they're like, what? And it's like, well, it's Zelda, but it's like open world, that kind of thing. Okay, so it's not like Skyrim, but you mean like it's open world like Skyrim. It's like, yes, okay. Maybe that could work, but how would we do that? And it's like, well, what if it was like, we base the whole engine on like chemistry and physics so that everything interacts with each other in ways that we expect it to. Oh, like if you light something on fire, that the wind can spread the fire. Yeah. Huh. Yeah, okay. And just like a big world where we can do a bunch of that stuff in there. Yeah. Oh, okay. And that gets the juices flowing, I assume. Like, great, so we're going to make that next? No, we're going to make Skyward Sword next. We're going to try out a whole bunch of stuff in Skyward Sword while we're trying to make this other game. So, yeah. Oh yeah, everyone loves Pokemon Legends, it sounds like. Everyone was really afraid that Pokemon Legends was going to be like, oh no! And now it sounds like Scarlet and Violet are like leaning into the open world thing some more. And my understanding how Pokemon games have kind of worked is that you have, this is going to be my understanding, so it's probably not exactly correct, obviously, but Game Freak Team A is making, Sword and Shield. And Game Freak Team B is like, we're making this new spin-off game, this Legends Arceus, and we want to do like bigger things with it. What did you guys do to make your game feel bigger? Like this. It's like, okay, we're gonna do that, but bigger, so a little more open worldish. It's like, okay, cool, you do that. And then, you know, Sword and Shield comes out and everyone has a reaction, and they're working on Legends. Like, good, we're working on the right kind of thing. People seem to like this idea of a larger feeling world. And then, you know, working on Legends and Scarlet and Violet people, Team A comes back to Team B and says, oh, Legends is looking pretty good. What are you doing? Well, we're doing these things. It's like, we're going to take that and do bigger, right? Like, yeah, do bigger. And I think that's kind of the idea, is that they were looking at what each other was doing. And the constant iteration, even in the spin-off games, is like, you're paying attention to what the team is already ahead of you doing, to be like, what can we take from what they're doing and use that to inspire stuff that we already, like, they probably already knew they wanted to go in that direction, but they're like, what's the inspiration? What's the idea? What's the direction we can go to make that, you know, even a bigger deal for us? And I love that kind of thing, that when you have teams like that working together. Because, man, I've been watching some low-spec gamer videos, and that dude talks a lot about how in like the early days of like Famicom days, Game & Watch, Game Boy, Famicom, all that, Nintendo R&D 1 and Nintendo R&D 2 were pitted against each other, because that's how Hiroshi Yamauchi liked to run Nintendo, as being like, I want the best ideas, which means you guys have to fight for resources. You have to fight for coming up with good ideas and stuff. And I'm like, watching how that affected the development of these things was like, oh no, what a massive pain in the ass to have to do things this way. It's like, if you have trouble, that means you'll have to innovate. And it's like, yeah, but still, the trouble they got into, where it's like, hey, I sourced a CPU from so-and-so, and now I'm not going to let you do the same thing. Like, you can do that? You're the same company. It's like, no, I'm just going to cut off all contact with that other company so you can't source your CPU from them. It's like, this is madness. Like, anyway, they're interesting videos, the ones upon the older Nintendo product. All right, I've talked way over. We're almost close to 11:30. Oh, we have a Faison ask a question though. Do you think in some ways, because tech has less restrictions, that's why we see a lot more games that take less risks? I think it's because it's harder to make a game that, because you can do so much stuff, you end up doing a lot of those things, and people are thinking and spending too much time in trying to do you know, they have a vision, so now they can make that vision happen. As opposed to when you were back in the day when you couldn't do a lot of stuff, you had to get very creative and you had to work very hard to make stuff happen. Like, if you look at Super Mario Brothers versus Super Mario Brothers 3, Mario 1 versus Mario 3, it's like that runs on the same hardware. But the way that they made those two games work was different because of the ways that they approached the technology. Because in the one, it's like, we need to make a game that works on the NES. We have Super Mario Brothers in mind. We can make that thing, and it only scrolls in one direction, and it only scrolls horizontally, because on the cartridge there is a solder point that says H and another one that says V. And if your game scrolls horizontally, you put a solder point in H. If it scrolls only vertically, you put it on V, and that's all you can do. You can't go in all the directions. And you can only put so much, you can only address so much memory on a cartridge and stuff like that. And then that's why mapper chips came out, and they started developing that stuff to be like, well, we can do more and more and more with that, but it all is bundled into the cartridge at this point, which is why you could extend the NES in so many interesting ways. And yeah, my opinion is that if you can do so much more with the technology these days, you spend more of your time and effort and energy just making those things happen, because why not? And Nintendo's in this situation of, it's like, they're running on the lowest spec hardware of any modern generation, and they're still just kind of like, we can make all this stuff happen the way we want to happen. So, you know, we can't do 4K, and we can't do ray tracing, we can't do all these other kind of things. We don't have like billions of polygons per second. You know, it's like that, you're not really having that kind of stuff happening. So you're building your engines, though, to suit what you can do on your hardware. You're building the games to suit what can happen on your hardware. It's like, yeah, so you spend a lot of your time doing that, and you don't maybe think so much about what's the riskier thing to do. I mean, you could argue like Paper Mario, the Origami King, it's a bit of a risk in how they approached the battle system. They said, we're going to do it like a puzzle kind of system where you rotate rings around, and you can fight things in a wedge, you can fight things in like a straight line, or like, you know, that kind of idea. And I'm like, that's a risk. People looked at it and like, I don't like this. I played it. I really liked it. I thought it was fun. So still a very fun game. Very much though at its core, very Paper Mario. So the risk they took was a new battle system based on a tried, true, proven property. I don't know. I don't know what Nintendo wants to put out new IP all the time, and they do that. Like Project Hammer, I think was that Codename Steam was Project Hammer. That didn't do so well. People didn't want to play first-person XCOM on a 3DS with things they didn't understand. Like they're like, we've never seen this stuff before, with this IP before. Maybe they would have wanted to do it if it was Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle, right? It's like, no, maybe people want to play an XCOM game that's based on Mario. So, yeah, I don't know. I think the position we're in is that you see a lot of is that the indie developers are like, we're restricted on resources to start with. Like Rourke has mentioned in here in chat as well. AAA has the resources, but they're very risk averse. Yeah, because an indie game might say, I've discovered a new way to do a thing. I mean, if we take Supergiant as an idea, they did Bastion, then they did Transistor, and then they did Hades, and people like lose their mind for Hades. I love Hades, a great game. I never played Bastion or Transistor. I understand that they're all a similar, you can see the evolution of the concepts and everything moving into like what became Hades. And I think what really does it for Hades is not just the fighting and control systems, but also that the story was really good and engaging, and you get that sense of what this is like a very small company, right? Well, technically, yeah, they're an indie group. It's like, then why is there so much dialogue in this game? It's like, well, they didn't skimp, did they? There's too much dialogue in the game, things you don't understand. That you just like, I was like, oh, there's just so much shit going on. I'm always hearing new things from people, So, yeah, I think that's a major thing too. Is it's like their very cool thing was we wrote a visual novel and we disguised it behind all this great fighting. So good for them. It's there will be lots of stuff. I don't think that we will see. AAAs will not take chances on stuff because at this point it's like, we have to pay all these people to be here, and you might never see a company like EA or Bethesda or Activision Blizzard or Ubisoft or whatever really doing a lot of like doing huge splashy games on the level of their biggest, splashiest AAA stuff. You will see them do their Searchlight Studio type stuff. They're, if you know Fox Searchlight Pictures, their whole thing of like, we're going to do small indies and stuff. You're going to see that kind of idea. Like Ubisoft did it with Child of Light, where they're like, we have a smaller group of people. Square Enix has done that with I Am Setsuna. They've done it with like a lot of those things. I think that's where you're going to see a lot of that stuff play out. I'm pretty sure that the like Triangle Strategy and Octopath Traveler was still that kind of idea where it's like, we're going to do this style of thing. That comes from the Bravely Default side, I'm sure too. But yeah, I think that, companies are like seeing the indie side and being like, there is opportunity for small groups within our company to make a game and get them started on learning how to do all these things. And what a great way to be like, yeah, because if you hire a programmer into your company to sit on a staff of 1,000 to 2,000 different people, and they're trying to find what tooth they are on what cog they are that makes the thing happen, that's dispiriting as hell. If you want to get into video games to make a video game. So to have an opportunity to be like, I'm going to get on a 15-person team with a bunch of different people who are juniors here, and we're going to try to make this stuff. It's like, that's great. That's a good idea. And yeah, Rourke mentions Riot Forge, where they let other studios play in their IP, and I'm like, Nintendo's been doing that for years, right? Grezzo has done all these remakes of Zelda games. I think they were the ones responsible for Link's Awakening as well, but they did Ocarina of Time 3D and Majora's Mask 3D. And they also made Ever Oasis, which is a great game. I had a great time playing it. I didn't expect the 3DS to be able to do what it did, and I was like, this is good. And but like Mercury Steam making the Metroid Samus Returns and then Metroid Dread, I didn't know their name before they made those games. Capcom doing the Game Boy Color Zeldas, and I mean, I kind of bounced off the Oracle games, sorry, but Minish Cap for the Game Boy Advance was was great. I enjoyed that too. Intelligent Systems working on Fire Emblem. Alpha Dream doing the Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga, that series of games. All these little companies they keep contracting with to work with to do things. It's like, please feel free to extend our property, because we're going to make a lot of money off that if you do a good job. Who else? Jesus. It's surprising to think about all of the companies where it's like Nintendo made this game and it's like, yeah, but did they? They certainly had a big hand in making the game, and maybe they were the first ones who made that game. They made Super Mario Kart. At what point maybe does that spin off to go to another company? Is it already in the hands of other companies, right? So I like to hope that that's the recognition where it's like if you're a company that sits in a lot of IP that people really love and they respond to very well, like Nintendo does, that you say there's more value in us putting out a lot of games that we can still pay other people to make for us or give them a cut of the sales or whatever. And it's like, isn't that great? People get to see another Mario game that comes out, or another Zelda game, or another Metroid game, or any of those kind of things. And all we had to do was we threw some money at a company and they did the thing, and then people throw money at us, and some of that money goes back to the company properly. And it's like, I think smartest thing Nintendo ever did was, and luckiest thing for them was Pokemon. Luckiest thing they ever did was opting into an arrangement where they got to be a big part of the Pokemon company thing. Because Game Freak probably could have just kept making it if Nintendo was like, it's good that you're making money, but we're going to be hands off. Pokemon would have been Game Freak the entire time. But Nintendo was like, this is saving our bacon, so we need to ally with these guys and do something big with it. We can do even more with it if we can get form an alliance with them. We're done. It's 11:33. I talked longer than I expected to, but thank you for sticking around tonight. I'll let Heather know to cut all of this out of the VOD. And like I say, you can catch everything we do on loadingreadyrun.com/live. That's the schedule. Thank you so much for showing up tonight. This has been Play It Forward and a lot of after talk. I hope you have a wonderful Canada Day, or I guess it'll be 4th of July for you guys after when we're done with that. Hell, if you're French, please enjoy Bastille Day. I don't know if I'll be wishing anybody a happy anything face-to-face on stream like this for a little while, since I'm done with Play It Forward for another year. As always, stay safe, stay healthy, stay inside if you can. Wear that mask because it is protecting other people, and hopefully they'll wear masks around you and help protect you. And you should get vaccines. And I hope that healthcare in your region is good, because, sometimes I wonder. I'm glad our healthcare is as good as it is in the ways that it is, but it can be. When Graham talked about having to sit at the ER as many times as he did, I was like, oh yeah. Yeah, I had that happen when my back went out on my birthday, and I was like, that was not fun. I don't want to do that again when that happened last year. And it was just like, no. But man, I feel you. That's a terrible experience. And he was in probably more pain than I was, or in different ways. Yeah, let's just say nobody's pain is better or worse. It's just different. Keep that in mind. Let's all be kinder to each other and, respect each other's inalienable rights. I think we're owed that. Have a great night, everybody.